She told me she was 19, and I later realized she was only 17 at that time.
I noticed him first then. I'm like, wow, he's really hot.
She walked by, and you look up, and you just you're in your own little world for that microsecond.
He treats me well. He always has.
I think it's nice to be able to have somebody there to talk to.
You're all right. Your time is fine. Who's got your rings?
We've got it all.
We are definitely running late.
The very first time I ever saw Jennifer was at Canadian Tire. I was working there part-time, saving up money to go to college to take policing.
And my tire went flat. And Jason worked at Canadian Tire, and that's where I stopped in order to get the tire down for my car because it was rusted up there.
This girl comes in, and she's driving a minivan, and she's got some other people in there, and she needed help fixing. She had a flat tire. She needed help with her van.
I asked him, if he could at all help. And he's like, oh, sure, and he jumps up and he's out the door faster than I got to the car.
And I'm underneath, and I'm trying to think of anything I can to create a conversation with her, and I'm snipping at wires the whole bit to get this wheel off. Couldn't get it off.
So we ended up, he just gave us advice to go over to the car, the people that actually fixed your car, which he probably should have told me to begin with.
I remember as she's driving away, I'm thinking if she looks at me, she's interested. If she doesn't look at me, she's not interested. I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm standing there and nope, not even a glance. Right now we're just at the mall, the Cataraqui Town Center in Kingston, and we're meeting up with the best man, Mark Swain, and the other groomsmen, and we're all going to get suited up for our tuxedos and make sure everything fits just perfect. Wow.
Shoes fit okay?
Yeah, shoes are perfect.
Good. There's the jacket still here.
Good.
Yeah.
But the way it's supposed to look?
Looks good.
Just like that, eh? Our second meeting, which was probably about a month to 2 months later.
At a bar called Cheers, and I had gone there with a bunch of my friends, and we were walking around, dancing, having a good time, and there was these guys sitting over at the pool table.
She walked by, and you look up, and you just you're in your own little world for that microsecond, and then you don't think, I don't have a chance with her or anything.
I noticed him first then. I'm like, wow, he's really hot.
Then this friend of mine that was in my class in police sciences, he comes up, he says, yeah, you see that girl over there?
Do you want me to introduce you? Because Jason at the time was single as well, and Dave knew that.
So he brings me on over, and I end up introducing myself to her and talking to her.
And we went and we danced, and he was a relatively good dancer.
I assumed she was 19. She told me she was 19, and I later realized she was only 17 at that time.
And Jason asked to have my number at the end of the night, and I was like, no.
I had no clue who she was before that, though, like that I'd ever met her before that. And we ended up going on a date there about a week later. She wouldn't call me for the longest time.
I had a lot of tests and things, and I just decided, I didn't want him to think I was too eager.
So we're just going to get all of our stuff together and go inside and get things ready.
We didn't realize at all that we had previously met until about another 3 months had passed, and I was going to be coming to Kingston to meet her parents. So I'm driving by, and as I'm driving through, I'm taking her through Kingston. I said, there's the Canadian Tire I used to work at. So we're looking this way, and that's where I used to work. And then we both paused for a second, and then we turned, and I said, do you own a blue minivan? She says, yes. And we thought, oh, that's you, wow. We had actually, she became pregnant with our daughter, Brandy. We've been together 8 months.
Brandy, she's Daddy's little girl. You can't separate them. When they're around, they have so much fun together.
It's been so hard. I haven't been home for 2 years, basically. I haven't been with her because I've been doing my policing and she's been doing her nursing. She's been here in Kingston finishing schooling. Whenever if I finish my shift at work, I head right back. Between every days I get off, I try to head back to see Brandy and Jennifer. And now it's just phenomenal. I mean, I come home and Brandy's ready at the door, and she's daddy, 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 and it's great. And you know, I give Jennifer a kiss, and I'm playing with Brandy, and it's fantastic.
This is the wedding planning book, and this is what I've been using, and it's somewhat helpful. Okay, this is what the book says.
Jen, we need some organization here. I'm going to be like this.
Where are all the girls? Girls? Christy, Pam, Allie, I need you over here.
Yeah, you stand right there. Okay. In that square. And then Adam, you stand really along here. Let's go through the whole thing.
You weren't listening. Maybe Pam should go in front of Allie, only because she won't be able to see over Allie's head.
Your mother and I do, and then you give her a kiss.
Shake Jason's hand. You give him a kiss, too.
Don't do that. Why not?
I was at his place in Brampton, and he was at work, and he was on an afternoon shift. So halfway through the shift, he called me and said, you know, I broke a piece of my belt. I need you to bring me my extra one.
And I think I said I needed my vest, my bulletproof vest. I said, otherwise I can't go on the road. I really need this. So she said, fine, and she grabbed the vest, and she was on her way to go meet me. Well, little did she know, I was right around the corner.
I'd gone with my dad because his car was smoking, and I'm terrified of cars, and I'm like, this thing's going to blow up on me. There's no way I'm driving it. And it smelled horrible. So I got my dad to drive me down, and halfway there, he pulled us over. And what I had planned on was that my coach officer would actually go up and would sort of give her a hard time and get her all riled up. And I didn't put my insurance papers in my car, and the plan was that he would ask her for license, ownership, and insurance, and she wouldn't have that. And he'd say, well, you're getting a ticket. So he'd come back, and then when he came back forward again, he would have a quick word with her and then open the door, and I'd slide in on one knee. And actually he would say, you're going to get a ticket for this, and hand the ticket to her. On the top of the ticket it said, will you marry me? And in the bottom where it says amount due, it said, to love me forever. So now we're trying to think quick, because we've only got a few seconds. So I said, here, you go up quick, you go up quick. So he goes up and he's talking to her dad, you know, trying to get him. Her dad doesn't have a clue what's going on. And she's turning around and she's shooting my name to the, you know, to the officer, saying, oh, I'm going to drop something off for Jason Maschke, who's an officer with Peel Police. What had happened is the coach officer asked my dad to step out of the car because he didn't have his license, he didn't have his insurance, and he asked my dad to step out of the car, and Jason came running up behind on the other side of me and opened up my door. I got down on one knee and I said, I love you with all my heart, Jennifer, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And I opened up the ring at that time. And he was just out of the blue. Here it goes, and that surprised me quite a bit. Get our dress, and we might have to come back because we don't know if we have the money to do it. Might have to take the direct deposit or something.
The dress is beautiful. It's really nice on her too. So it's been in the closet for a long time.
The lady that we just picked our dress up from forgot to put my veil and my headpiece inside the bag, so my mom has to go back and get it for me. 3 days from now we'll be lazing on the beach in Cancun, Mexico. I always wanted a big, beautiful wedding in a huge hall, and that's exactly what we found. It's a huge hall, it's beautiful, and lights all over the place. I feel prepared as though everything's done and decorated, but I'm still not too sure about walking down that aisle. I think I'm gonna fall on my face or something. That's okay.
Right now we're going to go to Lloyd's Car Wash. We're going to wash up the car, and then decorate it, and then we're going to go have some pizza, Paul's Pizza. Best pizza in the world. We're taking the Pink Panther in to get clean.
Not the Pink Panther. The color would be salmon or dusty rose.
Okay, Dusty Rose, then we'll go with the Dusty Rose.
I can take that over
if that's
pink
more
any day of the
masculine for
week.
you.
My best man, Mark Swain, there's nobody else that would choose to be my best man. We used to play hockey together when we were 9 years old, and we met again in public school, and we became instant best friends. You know, he's a police officer now with Hamilton Police, and I would have no problems whatsoever with him backing me up on the road or me backing him up on it. He's just a fantastic friend. I should call Jen later too and just say, hey, gonna be there. See how nervous she is.
The qualities I like in Jason are he's humorous, like he's funny. Sometimes he goes overboard, but he's funny. He's handsome. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He knows what he wants in life, and he will go out and get it. And you know, he treats me well. He always has. So that's something that was very important to me.
Some of the qualities I like best about her, I'd say she's understanding and caring. With my job, it's hard to find, you know, there's a lot of pressures, and I see a lot of things that, some things I don't tell her because it would be upsetting to her, you know, injuries or you know, accidents and stuff like that. I don't explain that to her, but other things that if I have a hard time with, it's nice to be able to go home and explain to her, here's what happened, and you know, she helps me through it. You know, if I feel bad about something or I just can't cope with something, it's nice to be able to have somebody there to talk to. And she's good that way.
My maid of honor is my best friend. It's Christy, and she is like a sister to me. I know what she's thinking, and she knows what I'm thinking. She'll leave her keys behind, and I know where she left them. Like, we're very close. We've known each other since grade 8, and I transferred schools to the high school that she went to in grade 10, and you haven't been able to separate us since.
We're going to the hotel, and I guess Jen's supposed to meet us there with Brandy, and then we're supposed to get her flowers. They're hopefully supposed to be there, and then we're heading into the church. Or not the church, because we're not even going to Zorba's.
We are definitely running late. But it's okay. The bride's supposed to be late. It kind of keeps the groom on his toes.
So we got our hair all done, and we're on our way back to the hotel to get dressed and get our makeup on and everything like that.
I am going to get him so good.
I knew that he was the one probably a little bit before the 3-month mark, and that seems fast. I didn't tell him I loved him or anything before then, but I knew in my own mind the little things that normally bugged me about, you know, ex-people. They didn't bug, like Jason didn't have any of those little nicks that you always know at the beginning of a relationship. You're like, you know, no, this is not going to work. I didn't have any feelings like that, and I had